And Sampras serving into the sun. And we really expected him to be 2 sets to love up, and he is now 2 sets to 1 down. A complete change in the fortunes in this match since the second set tiebreak. Another huge return of serve, putting Sampras in a lot of difficulties. This return of serve now, which was very erratic at the beginning of the match.
White, please. Thank you.
And is now much more under control.
Goran Ivanisevic, first game, 4th set. Ivanisevic leads by 2 sets to 1.
And you saw from Goran Ivanisevic's reaction after that point the significance of that point, because he has now broken Sampras' serve in the last 2 games. But starting from the beginning of the match, the first set to Sampras on a tie-break, 7-4, 2 broken points. Then it changed in the tie-break. Sampras looking good all the way through the second set, but it changed in the tie-break there. He was broken, and Ivanisevic took it 7-5 in the tie-break. And a really very much more lackluster Sampras in the third set, who was broken in the 10th game for 6-4, and as you have seen, now broken in the first game of the 4th set. The statistics for the serve, of course, say a lot about what's been happening in this match, but Sampras himself serving very well in the first couple of sets, but John, in the third set, really not serving nearly so well.
The power of Sampras' serve has really gone down, and with it, Ivanisevic's confidence has really escalated.
Love. 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 Goran Ivanisevic. 2 games to love.
Now then, John Alexander and I are wondering whether it's the depression from seeing 30-odd aces fly past you that's producing this rather somber mood. Or has he perhaps got a little injury there?
Love.
One thing is for sure, Pete Sampras, from the third set onwards, has been serving at very reduced power.
Love. 30-15.
His aces are not increasing, but his double faults are. And whereas Ivanisevic, for the first couple of sets, was barely returning the Sampras serve, he now has real chances of first, let alone second serve.
Game Sampras. Ivanisevic leads by 2-1, fourth set, and by 2-1.
And it does really seem to me, John, an awful long time since we saw Pete Sampras serve an ace.
Yes, you can only speculate what is wrong. The last ace I have marked, Pete Sampras, was the first game of the third set. But he has had a history of injury, shoulder injury. Withdrew from the Australian Open in January with shoulder injury. Although there's been no hint of it in these championships. Served beautifully for the first two sets and returned serve beautifully and really looked like he was on his way to his first Wimbledon final. Little unfortunate in the tiebreaker in the second set. It was just one cracking return of serve from Ivanisevic that got the elusive break point. And Ivanisevic did not lose a point on serve in that tiebreaker. So here we are into the fourth set. Ivanisevic leading 2-1 and with a break of serve, 2-1.
15 love.
And his supply of aces have not dried up. In fact, they're increasing.
Love. Love. Game Ivanisevic. Ivanisevic leads by 3-1.
And has not dropped a point on serve in this fourth set and is now looking so happy, so confident, so relaxed.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please. Thank you. Love 15.
Fine first volley, trying to wrong foot Goran Ivanisevic, but great reach wide on the forehand. Look at this back spinning backhand volley, all dug into the court like a pitching wedge.
Very good return.
15-30.
Putting Sampras, who was a little bit slow getting to the net, in two minds whether to play the half volley or the volley. Ivanisevic here going for the insurance break of serve. He must guard against complacency, concentration, must be total for him, and it never is one of his strongest factors in his game, the concentration. Great commitment by Ivanisevic, but I was rather astonished by Sampras's reaction. He didn't run for it, and it was very close to being in.
Goran Sampras. Ivanisevic leads by 3-2, fourth set, and by 2-1.
Sampras hung in there and refused to allow that break of serve, but the man who I hope is going to come into our picture behind the gentleman standing up there, Bob Brett, who is guiding the fortunes of Goran Ivanisevic there, the man right in the middle of your picture. His expression rarely changes during a match. Now, he guided Boris Becker, of course, to Wimbledon victory, and I wonder, John Alexander, if he's doing the same with Goran Ivanisevic.
Yes, so he's a very interesting guy. Bobby Brett went over to work with under the great Harry Hopman in the United States as a youngster. Never really been a top-class tennis player, but loved the game, wanted to be involved, and served a long apprenticeship under Harry. And so Harry lives on, and his methods through Bobby Brett and a number of others. And he has brought to Goran Ivanisevic some real discipline and a whole load of work, and now it's paying dividends. He's also a mature person who no doubt has tamed Goran down.
Love.
Not really having to play a lot of volleys, Goran, in this match, because his serve's not coming back.
Love.
133 going into this match. 167 now in this Wimbledon. That's a beautiful shot.
Well, just an exquisite backhand. No room at all to get it past the forehand of Ivanisevic. Catching the edge of the line.
For the fourth time, foot fault. Totally unconcerned, Goran.
(40-15).
No pass, just stands there and hits.
Game Ivanisevic. Ivanisevic leads by 4-2.
Well, we thought that last shot might well have been in. It was judged out, and that's the only judgment that matters. Sampras has an enormous job on hand.
Thank you.
He must hold this serve. He must break. He must break again or win a tie-break.
Game Ivanisevic, first game, fourth set. Ivanisevic leads by 2-1.
And you saw from Goran Ivanisevic's reaction after that point, the significance of that point, because he has now broken Sampras's serve in the last two games. But starting from the beginning of the match, the first set to Sampras on a tie-break, 7-4, 2 break since the second set tie-break.
30-40.
Another huge return of serve, putting Sampras in a lot of difficulties. This return of serve now, which was very erratic at the beginning of the match.
White, please. Thank you.
And is now much more under control. And Sampras serving into the sun. And we really expected him to be 2 sets to love up, and he is now 2 sets to 1 down. A complete change in the fortunes in this match.